It will be, Brian. Thanks. Mother and daughter were severely injured in the Boston Marathon bombings.
Celeste and Sydney Corcoran sat down for an exclusive interview with Today Show's Natalie Morales to talk about their experiences. Our Vince Vitrano has more.
Rock Center with Brian Williams tonight features a moving interview. NBC's Natalie Morales is sitting down with some of the victims of the terror attack in Boston. And Natalie joins us now from New York to talk about that interview. Natalie, I think because the death toll was so low for a large-scale attack, we've forgotten to focus to some degree on some of these folks who have life-changing injuries.
That's absolutely such an important point as well, Vince. You know, even just today, you hear the numbers. 16 people had life-changing amputations, losing limbs. And this story tonight, you're going to see a mother and daughter. The mother is one of those amputees. She lost both of her legs to this tragedy. Her daughter, Sydney, fortunately was able to keep her legs, but she did have a life-threatening injury as well. But fortunately, for the action of many heroes who came in to save her, they not only saved her life, but she was able to keep her legs and is expected to make a full recovery. But it is a story, as you mentioned, where this is going to forever scar this community, this city. These people will be dealing with these lifelong injuries. That's the new reality that that their life has now become.
Do you sense the folks with whom you talked have any sense of community with the other victims? Are they exchanging stories? Are they getting together? Anything like that?
Yes, and that, in fact, is pulling them all together and lifting their spirits even more. Celeste, the mother I was talking about, and the daughter, Sydney, in fact, are in the same hospital as many of the amputation victims. And right next door to them, 2 doors down, is Jeff Bauman. And you may recall that iconic photograph of him being pushed by the guy in the cowboy hat in a wheelchair. And Jeff Bauman actually was one of the guys who even then identified one of the suspects. He identified Johar Tsarnaev to the authorities. Well, Jeff has connected with Sydney and Celeste as well, and they've talked about even going into a rehabilitation facility together to further their recovery. So there's been great bonding among the victims, and that's actually helping them all lift their spirits, because realizing they're sort of all going through the same pain, going through the same emotional toll as the others as well.
You know, you did hit on some of the hero stories there too, Natalie. I think one of the things that you always do so well is we do find silver linings in these things, and when this happens, we learn a lot about ourselves as people, as Americans.
It's so true. And in this case, you know, you have so many people who came to help the mother and daughter in that situation. And one man who you'll see has a reunion with the young daughter, Sydney. And he was, his name is Matt Smith, and also you saw him prominently in a lot of photographs in many of the papers the very next day after the bombings. But he is seen tying and holding a tourniquet over Sydney's leg, and her doctors have pretty much said that saved her life. So he was among one of 3 gentlemen who really came and helped calm her down and help save her life.
We look really forward to seeing the piece tonight. Natalie, thanks so much for spending some time with us.
My pleasure. Nice to be here. Thanks, Vince.
Natalie's full interview airs during Rock Center with Brian Williams. That's tonight at 9 p.m. right before Live at 10.
Time now